Hello everybody, and welcome back to my Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. In this episode, we are going to be taking on the Eastern Palace, and you are going to notice, as I've mentioned before, that I'm going to try to dodge as much as possible. And that doesn't always work with these unpredictable balls here, but I only got hit 3 times. That's not too bad. For each dungeon, I'm going to be showing you the quickest route through, at least as far as I know. And I'm also going to be acquiring all of the key items. So the map, the compass, and also whatever the special item is in each dungeon. I'm not going to necessarily be showing every room because some rooms are trap rooms or non-essential, so those I will be skipping. I hate these skeleton guys. They rebound a lot of the time off the wall and will hit you. This little flying thing in here is called an anti-fairy. If you use your magic powder on them, they become a fairy. And you can actually capture them with your bug catching net and keep them in a bottle. Then what happens is when you die, if you should happen to die, the fairy will automatically be used and resurrect you, giving you 7 hearts full of health. They're a great item to have, and I usually try to keep all of my bottles, especially early on, filled with them. So that's it for the right side. Now we're going to head over to the left. You could kill all these guys, but I'm going to be avoiding them. Here's our first room where you have to kill all the enemies in order to advance. Not too tough. Use these pots for one-hit kills. And up here is our second key item, the compass. So this shows you on your map exactly where the boss is of the dungeon. This is a telepathic tile, and usually they contain hints on what to do in each dungeon. They let you communicate with Sahasrara. Now it's best to leave these pots until later because these items actually change to better things once you come back to this room in a little bit. So we are going for the big key. I'm going to use my powder again on these fairies. Try to capture one for my second bottle. And I'll just let the other one, I don't need it. In this room to the right is a regular key. And we need this to get into the room with the big key. So the Eastern Palace is really good at kind of giving you access or giving you experience with a lot of the things you're going to have to master as you progress in the game. So this is the big key room. We have to kill all of the enemies in the room. These green guys you have to walk towards to wake them up, and then you can use a pot to kill them. And by killing this last enemy, it's going to release all of those anti-fairies that were circling around this pot up here. And there's our big key. You need that to open the big chest. And just go for it. And also to open the room to the boss in each dungeon. Anti-fairies suck in the sense that if you get hit by them, they don't only do damage, but they also take some of your magic. So here's the big chest, and we get the bow and arrow. And we have to run like heck here to avoid these guys. You actually jump into... There we go. Into this canister here, you get a couple fairies. You can actually warp right back out. And I'll get some more arrows. And we will progress. Now these green guys can be killed by pots or the bow and arrow. So one arrow is enough to kill them. Unless, of course, they run into you before you can hit them. These little tentacle guys are nice because they give up a lot of rupees usually if you kill them. Now, most dungeons have these little rooms like this where you can get a bunch of rupees. I don't need that last 5. It's not worth potentially getting hit over. I'm going to try to just speed through these rooms. There's nothing really essential in them. And I would rather not get hit. The switch you need is the one at the bottom. So dodge and weave. And the switch you need in here is in the upper left. Your trap room. Gotta kill all the enemies. One more to go. And the red ones, as you saw, take 2 shots instead of 1 to kill. They did actually change some stuff in this version. You used to get a full quiver of 30 arrows when you got the bow, and now they only give you 10. They seem to make it more difficult in this game to actually acquire items. And here's our first boss, the Armos Knights. There's a safe spot down here in the corner. You need to shoot, I think, 3 arrows into each boss. They follow a little predictable pattern. So just take them out as they come near you. And waste arrows, I guess. Ugh. Pretty easy, boss. When you're down to the last one, he gets pissed off and comes after you. But he's not that tough. Pick up your extra heart, get your pendant, and you are done. So we need 2 more pendants in order to be able to take the Master Sword. And if you remember, Sahasrahla said to come back to him once we got this pendant, and he would give us something. And he gives us a very important item. I'm back. I don't really need a story. I mean, I think I have a sense of what I need to do here. So why don't you just give me what you said you were going to give me, and I'll be on my way. Okay. I'll wait for you to be done. I am a hero, and I will find the pendants. Ah, here we go. Treasure. I want it. The Pegasus boots. These allow you to dash. So you can get around a lot faster. He tells you about a cave to the east of Lake Hylia. We will be going there a little bit later in the game. Now, you can dash into these circular cracks to break them open instead of having to use a bomb. Or you could bomb them. It's up to you. So that's it for this area. We need to start making our way towards... You just saw, if you run into a wall, it recoils you back. We need to start working our way towards the second dungeon, which is the Desert Palace. And that is south and west of Link's house. So head down here, and actually you need an item first, so let's go get that. And another thing you can do with the Pegasus boots is bust open these little collection of balls, and usually there's something underneath. In this case, fairies. So we need to get an item from back in Kakarika Village. And that item we need is a book. The Book of Mudora. This house here is a minigame you can play. You pay rupees to be able to open a chest. Usually you don't get very much out of it, so I don't tend to do it. You need to head up here to the library and run into the shelf to knock the book off. This allows you to translate text. And if you don't have it, you'll come across points in the game where there's ancient text and you can't read it. It just shows up as symbols. And so we need that book to make sure we can get some items later and also get into the second dungeon. So we're gonna head back now towards the second dungeon. Hang a south here. Hang a south. Hang a right to go south. And we're gonna go left from that water temple we came to earlier. Enemies hide everywhere. Here we have a seemingly uneventful man with an average sign. It says not to remove the sign. Well, what happens if we do? He gets pretty upset at us. And he follows you around. And won't leave until you leave the screen. And it keeps you from being able to go into caves. So you can't use that great fairy there until you get rid of this guy. And he's a thief. If you remember from my first episode, we were in the Lost Woods, and they mentioned in there when I got a heart piece that there was a thief hanging out near the entrance to the desert, and that is the guy. Now this cave has a heart piece, and it also has an elder that you can talk to, and he gives you the clue about the Book of Mudora. So if you didn't have this walkthrough or me to guide you, that would be where you would get the tip. So we're set. All we got to do is get over to the palace, the desert palace, and go in. So dodge these cactus, they do hurt you, and these sand guys. Head up here and use your book to translate this language. Aw, look how cute he looks making his wish. And that opens up the palace for us. So, in my next episode, we are going to be taking on the Desert Palace. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.